the Dunbeg Social Club is how inclusive it has become. I think there are more Longford fiddlers in this group, including Marie Riley, than from County Clare. But it's people from Donegal, Longford, County New York, I think, is included as well. But it is a great time for Irish music. I mean, we have recently had Masters of Tradition here with Martin Hayes and so on. There's been great, and there continues to be great traditional music. There continues to be great traditional music here in the United States. I want to pay tribute to the role that Comhaltas Ceol Tóra has played. And we have here tonight Paul Keating, who has played his part in supporting traditional Irish music. We take it for granted that Irish music is as strong as it is today, but 20, 30 years ago, the music, it wasn't as popular. There was people worried about how well it would survive. Well, I think it's alive and well. So in the context of the Dunbeg Social Club, one of whose members is Marie Riley, I'm delighted to be here tonight to welcome and to introduce Marie and her first album, and it's called The Anvil. As some of you know, as a Consul General, I've got to lay claim to as many counties as I can. My claim to Longford is that my grandmother spent her final years and died in Longford, and my father played football for St. Mel's, but beyond that I can't claim much. But Marie is very proud of the fact that her music is from Longford and South Leitrim. So without further delay, I'm going to ask Marie to come and say a few words. I know that the music is very special to her because this is music that probably has been lost at home in Longford and South Leitrim. It's music that her father brought to this country, or that her father gave to her. And I'd like to think that there's music here, some of you great musicians over here on the left I've never heard before. So ladies and gentlemen, give a very warm welcome to Marie Riley.
Thank you, Consul General, and I want to say thank you very much for allowing me to launch my CD here this evening. Thank you, and thanks to Honora. I'm delighted to be here this evening to present to you The Anvil and to tell you about the music from South Leitrim, Longford. The Anvil is a collection of rarely heard musical gems with a very unique style of fiddle playing through 8 generations. This CD is dedicated to my father, Michael Riley, from Drumreilly, County Leitrim, who was a great fiddle player but died too young, but thankfully he left a wealth of music behind that is now available at the Traditional Music Archives in Dublin. Some of you might ask how I came up with the name of The Anvil, but not only was my father a great musician, he was also a blacksmith. We had a forge at our house at home, and I was fascinated with everything about the forge, and in particular the anvil. We had a great little duo going. He would whistle tunes as he was working, and I lilted. I loved to lilt. And at the end of each tune, he would tap the anvil, starting at the wider end and working his way to the point. It was almost like a xylophone, and I will never forget that sound. It had such a ring to it, and I thought, what name better than The Anvil could I have for Alright, a little bit about the fiddle playing in County Leitrim. There was a particularly strong fiddle playing in South Leitrim, Longford, and the music from this area has been recognised as having its own regional style. There's documented evidence, both historical and musically, to show that a deeply rooted appreciation of the Irish music has been nurtured in that area for centuries. Music collectors such as William Ford and Francis O'Neill wrote many collections about the sweet tonality of the South Leitrim Longford style music, as well as the rarity and the variety of the repertoire associated with it. To date, a towering figure of influence is the great 19th century fiddle master from Drumlish, County Longford, Thomas Kiernan. Kiernan planted a seed of the finest fiddle style which is still flourishing. It is a very unique style of playing, and it also has a unique bowing style which is called slur and cut that creates a flowing tempo that jumps out at the listener. Kiernan taught widely and travelled on foot from house to house, lodging at night in the houses where he taught. The accommodation was part of his payment, but also along with a naggin of whisky for his breakfast and a plentiful supply of his favourite tobacco. One of his most illustrious students was a man named Peter Kennedy from Balnamore, County Leitrim, born circa 1830. Kennedy handed on this fiddle style to Terence Riley, my grandfather, and Alex Sutherland, both from Drumreilly, County Longford. Excuse me, County Leitrim. How could I mix that up? That's it. It's the whiskey. Can you give me some more, please? Anyway, my grandfather, Terence Riley, taught my father, Michael, and my father passed on to me and to Father John Quinn, who in turn taught Enda McNamara, who taught Conor Ward, who is one of the leading fiddle teachers in South County Leitrim. His students came not only from Leitrim, but from neighbouring Longford. And wait for this, his best student was a certain Pádraig Riley from Lanesborough, County Longford, who is the great-grandson of Terence Riley, my grandfather. So